Nice. Awesome. So then let's start. Let me better, much better. All right. Great. Super. Then I'm going to jump back on my slides and share them. Here we go. Great. I'm back on my slides, and if you have any questions, you can ask them in the chat, and Levi will scream at me and send a message or something like that to let me know about it, and periodically I will check back there as well. So let me move the mouse out of the way, and welcome to the Price is Right to refresh your 2025 prices webinar. I'm Betty Patu, your host. I'm very excited to have you here, and thank you so much for your patience. And I wanted to start with a quote. The best math you can learn is how to calculate the future cost of current decisions. Morgan Nelson. I really, really resonate with this quote because it tells so much about what kind of life we want to live and now and in the future. I wanted to ask you, which character do you play with right now? We have three variables, time, energy, and money, and age variables on the upper end of the image. And it would be fun if you picked a character for yourself. Which one are you playing with right now in your life? Do you have enough time? Do you have enough energy? Do you have enough money, the amount you want? When I started out as a groomer, I was the person. I played with the person on the very right. I did not have time, did not have energy, and really didn't have any money. And after a while and enough amount of back pain, I decided that, okay, I need to change stuff and make sure that I'm going to live a life that will be longer, more comfortable, and pain-free. And it was eye-opening for me to realize that, okay, so far, a couple of years ago, so far, what the kind of lifestyle and life I lived was not satisfactory. And I suspect that you are, to some degree, in the same shoes because you're here. You want to know about price raising and strategies to balance out these three core things: time, energy, and money. The second part of the game is I'd like you to pick a character for yourself for the future. Which one do you want to play with in the future? Near future and a little bit distant future. And I'm pretty sure you're going to go with all the green stuff around there as an adult and as an elderly person, having time, energy, and money, regardless of your age. And I'm going to tell you everything I have, that's my current choice. I want time, energy, and money now and later, and the more the better. And I want to share my strategies that help me to build up my home-based business and what helped me convert my life from no time, no energy, no money to time, energy, and money abundance, I shall say. So a little bit about me. I'm a home-based groomer since 2013. I'm the author of Single to Triple Figures Per Hour, How Bay Turkey started their solo groomer dog spa. I love to balance time, energy, and money. And the way it works for me currently is I have 4-day work weeks, 6-hour work days, and 3-day weekends. And that's my sweet spot. That's an easily manageable level that does not drain me. Those work days don't drain me with those 6 hours. And I really enjoy 3-day weekends. It's fun, physically, mentally, and even financially, because those 4 days I work, they make up for the extra day I get to live in my younger adult life. And I really want to count on current stuff without being greedy, because tomorrow is not granted at all. And we have no idea what's going to happen. So I want to make sure that I get to enjoy life for sure in the shorter period of time as well, without saving everything up to my 80s, and then I wouldn't be able to get out of the rocking chair. So my home-based dog spa generated over $500K in the last 3 years. And my account says that's pretty impressive. I agree. And while maintaining my setup above. So I think there are a lot of variables when we can describe the income that we get, let it be regardless of our setup, whether it's brick and mortar or mobile or home-based or house call. Say each of those make $200K a year. And the overhead, the free time, your energy are very different in those levels. Your responsibilities and just your mindset and work-life balance are very different. So that's why I picked the home-based setup, because to me, it has the most sweet spots that I really, really like, this time, money, and energy-wise. I'm also the co-founder of the Pet Groomer app that we're going to use for examples today. When we think about price raising, we can be pretty overrun, frustrated, or even scared. But it's also a chance to grow our income and thrive with the right approach. And I dare to say right now that depending on your approach, it either gets you super scared or super excited. And some of you might even ask, how the heck can I say excited about price raising and use the two phrases in the same sentence? But it sure can get to that level. And I'm the living proof of that. I was very, very scared when I started to raise prices because my husband pushed me to do it. He has a lot better business experience, and he's a lot more brave than I am. So he pushed me at the beginning, and when I was not ready to raise prices, he helped me to get over those money blocks and find my sweet spot prices and grow my income over the years. So there are levels and two sides on the scale. And we're going to talk about strategies from the scary side and strategies from the price raising, that's exciting, end of the scale. But first, let's talk about why we don't raise prices. I think it's critical to talk about this because we have so many excuses and they are legit. We need to resolve those issues within us or with our system or with the method we are doing to feel comfortable and excited after a while. So let's take a look at what those are. Fear of losing loyal clients. Long-term clients often feel like family, and the fear of alienating them with higher prices can hold groomers back. Guilty as charged. Market perception. There's a worry about pricing yourself out of the local market, especially if competitors charge less. It's a legit worry, but we can tweak it quite a bit with the philosophy of client prospect groups. We're going to talk about that later. Imposter syndrome. Some groomers may doubt their skills or the value they provide, feeling they don't deserve to charge more. Absolutely guilty. I used to have this imposter syndrome for quite a few years, and it's a real fear, and but more of an imaginary one, because there are tools to understand your skill set, the value you provide, and how to phrase that to your clients so they're gonna feel like, all right, this is my stuff. Shut up and take my money. Lack of confidence. Anxiety about discussing price increases with clients can make us avoid the topic altogether. Been there. It's very hard to stand up for yourself, all while helping your clients understand why you charge those numbers that they see on paper or via estimate online or in an email or in a text message. And over the years, I found itemized estimates and invoices are incredibly helpful for me to lean onto and explain my numbers, as opposed to giving them one-liner, grooming $100 for Fluffy. And that doesn't carry a lot of information. And when I'm at high-stake conversations, I love some cheat sheet, some backup that I can lean onto. And an itemized estimate and invoice proved to be absolutely amazing help for me, even when the clients were asking about the invoice or estimate. Perceived financial limits of clients. a belief that clients can't or won't pay more, especially if many are friends or come from modest financial backgrounds. We have this situation going on that we got our pricing to our own budget, not our clients or client prospects budget. And it's a critical mistake. The reason for that is many of the groomers are a lot into DIY. Like when you are facing a problem at home, your toilet is leaking or your doggy needs a haircut. Okay, that's wrong because that's our profession. But okay, your cat needs a haircut, but you're only trained for dogs. Then you go on YouTube, learn, or go on a course and learn, and you do it yourself. Now, there are client prospect groups that have the resources, don't have the time, but they are looking for very high value service and they don't want to DIY. They are willing to pay a lot, though, to get trustworthy and high value services. That's where we chime in, where we can offer them services that they are looking for without thinking about budgeting it to our own budget or pricing it to our own budget. Emotional attachment. Groomers often develop strong emotional bonds with clients and their pets, leading to a reluctance to impose financial strain on them. Guilty. Yeah, I think we all know the feeling when we have our favorite clients, when we have very loyal clients with tricky doggies that we desensitized or counter-conditioned, and we had our milestones together. We have a history. We think about them as family, and it's very hard to put a price tag on those kind of services and those kind of relationships. And that's why I love client tiers, because you can have a client tier for your sweet spot clients, your favorite ones, without putting financial strain on them. And you can also have your ambitious tier, client tier, where you can go as wild as crazy with new clients, with price raising to balance out your income with all the new clients. We're going to talk about that in detail. Minimal overhead. My home-based setups overhead is nothing. I shouldn't charge more. I don't agree. It's about positioning your business. If you want to position your business around having low overhead and not charging enough, then you're going to leave serious money on the table. And 2, 3, 5 years from now, your back will sign up to this program and it wants you to reassess your thinking about the project. We really need to make sure that we are charging enough to have time, energy, and money. And living with back pain is no joke. It's very hard and it has consequences in the present and in the future. So we should not stop at capping our price lower because of our minimal overhead. We need to position our business in a way that it's going to get us on the same page with client prospect groups who have the resources and are looking for a high value service that we can provide. There is another page about why we don't raise prices. Complex clients dynamics. Clients might compare prices with the grooming community and question the rationale for increases, creating potential for awkward conversations. We talked about itemized estimates and invoices, and they come a huge help in these situations when the client prospect needs to compare different options, like your spa, spa B, and spa C. Let's keep the list very, very short. They need to pitch to the financial decision maker of the family which spa they want to take the doggy. If you provide an itemized estimate and invoice and explain your prices without hidden fees and everything, then you have a clear, you give a clear tool and explanation to the financial decision maker of the family why to choose you. And it's a huge deal when you want to win deals, because with a one-liner compared to an itemized invoice, regardless of your prices, it's much more clear on an itemized estimate and invoice. And the clients are much more likely to choose you over a one-liner. So it's super important. Fear of negative reviews. Total legit. Groomers may worry that clients who feel upset by a price hike could leave negative feedback, harming their reputation. Total legit fear. I used to have it a lot. And when I did flat rate price raising, basically blanket raise for everyone, $5, $10 extra. The problem with that is you raise yourself out from your client's budget super fast in those situations, and you can piss off your clients in masses. We don't want that. That's why it feels scary. It's legit scary because that's a wrong strategy. Raising prices in a flat rate method makes me sweat, and it can result in bad reviews and upset clients. And even if they don't leave bad reviews, but if they are upset enough with that explanation, then the word of mouth also works in a negative way, that they're going to talk about your business in a way that it won't generate new client flow. And that's not ideal. So it's totally legit, but there are works around it. Underestimating the true value. Typical, super typical, and guilty as charged. Groomers may undervalue their unique expertise, care, and the time they invest, thinking their work doesn't warrant a higher price. We know what the doggy needs, and we take it granted. Owners don't know what the doggy needs, and they take a lower price granted. So to tackle that, we need to provide an itemized invoice and estimate to the client and show them what got done, and meanwhile explaining them the value in it. For example, if you provide hand blow drying for the doggy and they compare it with cage drying at another salon, then they can clearly see the value without you holding their hands, that, okay, the hand blow drying is much more comfortable for the dog, and I really want my dog to be comfortable, so that's a high value for me, and I'm willing to pay higher price and not have my dog in cages. Administrative overhead. Adjusting not just the price list, packages, custom prices for clients on paper or in a software, but also informing clients, updating service descriptions, and communicating changes adds to an already heavy workload. I think most of us are overworked, overwhelmed, underpaid, and do not even want to think about price raising. And when we think of traditional, conventional price raising methods, it's just so time consuming that sometimes it even prevents us to do an actual price raising, even when the calendar is pushing us with the January 1st coming up. So finding a method and a strategy that helps you cut your admin work with the price raising itself, finding your number with the price raising itself, and explaining the new price to your clients without going insane on customer service, admin related customer service, then you are going to much more likely to raise prices, and raise prices with confidence and excitement. Time constraints. Solo groomers often wear many hats, guilty as charged, and may lack the time to explore, think through, choose, and execute a pricing adjustment strategy effectively. I'm super grateful for you for, even in one of the busiest part of the year, you're here and listening to this or watching the recording, and you want to explore new ways of raising your prices in a way that it won't break you mentally, physically, and it will bring an awesome 2025 for you with a really fat piggy bank and lots of time so you can enjoy your access to life, the money you earn, and the energy, because we all know that when we overwork so much that even on our days off, we don't have the energy to do fun stuff. Even when we have the money, that's not an ideal life that we want to live, really. So let's see the next slide. Why do we raise prices? Increased operating costs. Typical, we all know these expenses such as rent, utilities, grooming supplies, equipment maintenance, and insurance often raise over time, and requiring price adjustments to maintain profitability. Basically, this is the thing what you do to stay afloat, not to go bankrupt or close your business. Inflation, same deal. The cost of living increases everywhere, and pricing must keep pace to ensure the groomer's earnings remain sufficient to meet personal and business expenses. Skill and experience growth. As groomers gain experience, certification, or specialize in particular breeds or techniques, they offer a higher level of expertise that justifies premium pricing. It's critical to see that the setup what home-based groomers do in itself, especially when you go one-on-one, appointment only, even fear-free and grooming loop-free, all of those are high-value things to raise your prices steeply. Time efficiency. Raising price allows groomers to take fewer appointments while earning the same or more income, reducing burnout and allowing more time for quality, customized service, and personal life. We brush it off quite often. Work less, earn more. Sounds so trivial. It's hard to get a grip on it, but it's really fun to set your work days, work hours, and desired income in a balance and have a life and get up energized and excited. Let it be a work day or let it be a weekend or a Monday when you are not working, and then you will live a lot more fulfilling life, and it can be balanced. Attracting ideal clients. Higher prices can attract clients who value premium prices, are more likely to respect the groomer's policies, and create less stress for the groomer. I think it's critical to understand that the higher your prices, in my experience at least, and what I hear from other people on grooming forums, the higher your prices, the easier it is to deal with your clients and their doggies. They are so focused on compassion, like whatever you request, they will get it, like that. You can send them 10 things that you want them to send back, and they will do it right away or very fast. And not like, okay, I sent 2 over and then another 8 is missing. Nothing like that. And their dogs are trained, exercised, and well-groomed at home. High clients who are after premium services, they either bring the doggy frequently enough that they never have mats, or they are so focused on providing the coat care at home that you're not going to meet any mats, even when they visit you every 3 months. And that's fantastic. And I'm groomed doodles, so I know what I'm talking about. It can be fantastic, a fantastic collaboration between groomer, owner, and the doggy, and it's very much fun. Maintaining work-life balance. No more back pain. That's exciting, huh? Increased income from higher prices can help solo groomers maintain a healthy balance, reduce overwork, and avoid physical and emotional exhaustion. I think we all know this step very, very well, that we work way too much, and we just want to get out of that, really, to put it shortly. Why do we raise prices? I have a few more, and the reason why I want to go over these, because I want us all to get on the same page of all the benefits that come with raising your prices. Because yeah, a little bit more money sounds great, but what if you could raise your prices more ambitiously and explore a brand new perspective? Fair compensation, clearing up your billing method to charge fairly and account for every minute we work. It's super important to understand that from flat fee based billing, if we go to hourly rates and hourly billing, time-based billing, we clean up our schedule enough that that's a price raise in itself. It's fantastic. I will show you an example, and you will totally get it with specific numbers. Separating grooming labor rates from supply and other fees. When you go to a car mechanic because your car broke down for whatever reason, you will get an estimate after they check it, and they're going to list labor prices, parts, sales tax, total. Sales tax and total. And they're not going to mix and match because it depends. The price depends whether it's a little screw or whether it's a new motor or a new side door or whatever your car needs. And it's not going to come out of the mechanic's income. They want to separate it. And because they even make a cut on the supplies and the not supplies, that's the grooming version, the parts. So it's super important for us groomers as well to separate these two. And again, it's a price raise in itself, because now if you provide an itemized invoice and estimate and put a supply fee right under the main package and service what the doggy gets, it's going to show clearly for your clients that how much they are paying for shampoo, conditioner, electricity, internet, phone bill, anything and everything that your business needs to be included in the supply fee in there. So it's going to be separated from your grooming labor fees. Another very surprising reason why we can raise prices and what it can help us with is demand management. It allows groomers to test the market and determine what clients are willing to pay for their expertise, maximizing revenue without overextending themselves. It's super duper helpful when you want to adjust the flow of new clients relative to old clients. And then you can adjust your pricing for new clients. So springtime, when there's going to be a rush of puppies, then you can up your tier 2 prices and provide a good bonus for you as the trees are going to bloom. Not necessarily only around Christmas time. It's going to be super. And I'm going to show you how to do those tiered pricing thingies. Controlling new client flow, raising prices can help groomers manage the influx of new clients, ensuring that only the most serious and committed pet owners seek their services. This approach prevents overloading the schedule while maintaining a high standard of care for existing clients and safe and bold income raise for the groomer. It's a wonderful tool to use calmly. This is where the exciting part comes in, where you can see a huge difference in your income quickly, sustainably, and you can adjust it throughout the year. I will talk about that trick in a minute. Fully booked or waiting list. For groomers who are fully booked or have a waiting list, increasing prices can help reduce demand slightly, creating a more manageable workload, makes reschedule easier or even possible, and get a significant income raise. For those of you who have a wait list, to put it bluntly, you're leaving money on the table, significant money, and if you were to adjust the client flow of raising your tier 1 old clients price list and also adding a new tier, allowing new clients to flow with an even steeper price raise, then you're going to be able to adjust the clients you will lose, the number of new clients to jump in, and then your income will increase significantly, much more than you can do in a flat rate, single-tiered price raising method. Reflecting quality of service, groomers who invest in better tools, safer practices, and higher standards of care often raise prices to reflect the enhanced value they provide. You cannot buy a Lambo for $50,000, and no Lambo wannabe owners will be offended by a higher price proposal. Think of that. We need to think outside of our budget and comfort zone when it comes to pricing. There are lots of client prospect groups that can pay a lot more and are willing to pay a lot more than we would pay for the grooming what we provide. They see it as much higher value than what we see. It's a very different perspective. Future growth. Higher earnings allow groomers to reinvest in their business by upgrading equipment, taking courses, or improving facilities, ensuring better service for client and a health-preserving tool and environment for groomer. It's super important to understand that when you are investing in an electric table, electric tub, top-of-the-line shears, top-of-the-line clippers, it's not you who is supposed to pay for that. It's your clients. It's the same rule everywhere. It's not a new thing. It might be surprising, but we are not supposed to pay for our tools. And we're not supposed to use really, let me put it this way, not health-affirming tools and equipment. We want an electric table that will adjust with the doggy's size and the body part we are working on. It will save your back on the long run, on the short run. Same thing applies to a grooming tub. That big thing cost $6,000 back there. It wasn't me who paid for that. It was my clients, and they were so happy, and they love every single image I send them and how their doggy smiles in there. And you need to advocate for yourself and invest in the best top-of-the-line tools for yourself. Because if you're not just planning to do grooming doggies over like until summer or something, and if you are thinking about this being a serious career, you need to make sure that your health is sustainable as well. Staying competitive. As competitors raise their prices, groomers may need to adjust theirs to avoid being perceived as undervalued or less professional. Let's go back to the Lambo example. When people with enough budget to buy a Lambo, if they saw an ad for a Honda, they would be like, all right, yeah, that's a car. I don't care. I want top of the line, high end, super fancy. I want to enjoy spending my money, and I want want the top of the line thing. It's the very, very same thing for owners who are looking for groomers. There are tons of people who are buying the newest iPhones, 6-10 grand handbags, finest cars, and we still do not dare to ask for higher prices for dog grooming, where we are working on a feeling, living creature. These people don't want their doggies to be in cages. They don't want their doggies to be caged right. They don't want their doggies to wait 6 hours at a grooming salon. And when you raise your prices high enough, you can go one-on-one, and then you can rate your labor prices, grooming labor prices high enough that working only 6 hours, you're going to make a lot more than as if you were working 12, 14 hours and work your butt off at a bigger salon. So it's critically important to understand the possibilities of different client prospect groups. We're going to talk about them a little bit later, and I also have a blog post about them. Price raising methods. Here is the little image again with a little bit of perspective about income possibilities when it comes to different price raising methods. I just want you to get a glimpse of the more money you make, the more time and more energy you have, because you need to work less. Physically, we have our limits, and we can't work 24 hours. We can't take any more doggies. If we hire someone, the overhead will also be higher, so we're not going to be able to get that much of money back. That's why I stay solo and did not open a brick and mortar ever, because I wanted very low overhead and very high price margin. And Homebase is the way to do that. And that's the way to charge your time, energy, and money batteries to live a life before you get old. And also live a life when you get old. And I intend to get old without crazy back pain. So raising prices to keep up with expenses. I have the no time, no energy, no money adult person here, because this is really the method that will keep you afloat. And to cover your expenses, it's a minimal raise, usually done January 1st and October 1st. It's a 1 time a year thing, single tiered price raising to cover inflation. And it will keep you afloat, but won't make much of a difference. You're not going to be able to do your dream vacation. You're not going to be able to have enough time to get up early in the morning and do a fun run early with your doggies, or just take a chill doggy walk, or spend time with your kids, or whatever. And it's not an ideal way to raise prices. It's very, very popular and typical one. I call it the conventional method. It's not much fun to do, and even many people skip that part. So let's take a look at this in a little bit more detail, how it looks in practice. Raising prices in practice. Conventional method, minimal raise. Conventional flat rate, single tiered method. Raising the same rate for everyone. It's also called a blanket raise. Single tiered, like adding $5 or $10 extra for every single client, or adding $5 to small doggies, $10 for large doggies. It's very risky. No wonder you don't want to do it. It's insanely risky, because when you're raising for everyone, you could be out budgeting yourself from a lot of people. And if you have low prices, chances are, I've been there, so don't get offended, your clients are with you because of your prices. Many of them at least. Not all, but many. And if you raise your prices higher than their budget, they're going to be pissed. And that's why I love tiered pricing, because you can play around with the client flow without pissing your clients off. So no wonder you don't want to do this risky business of flat rate single tiered method. And it won't take you on a fancy vacation, and it won't do much good for you either. Just cause anxiety, maybe a little bit of extra cushion, but you're still gonna have a very skinny piggy bank. And again, I've been there. So talking about experience. Raising prices in practice, conventional method, how it looks. Now, what we talked about, raising prices by $5, here you see all the packages, and it's super important to see the number of packages and the rest what's coming here, because it's critical to see our workload when it comes to price raising flat rates and hourly rates. Here you see we have 10 packages, and we need to adjust the price at 10 places for the packages. most of us have a lot more packages than this. When we take a look at here, we have the standalone services. Here we see 6 items that we need to adjust. So that's another already 6. We are at 16 already. So that's an issue that takes time and is time consuming and is error prone. Here we are at another 4 items. So we are at 20 already. We need to raise prices at 20 spots. Time consuming, error prone. That little thingy, what we had, you're not going to get your time back when you are raising prices this way. And so it's really not ideal. Here we saw a list of services, packages and add-ons. Most of us have more than 20 of them. I certainly do. I'm around 43 or something. The more services, packages, and add-ons you have, the longer it takes to adjust them manually on paper or even in a software. Lots of admin work with manual flat rate price updates is time consuming and error prone. We don't want that. We don't want extra client work, extra customer support work with clients on this, right? The workload involved with manual The workload involved with manual flat rate price updates often prevents groomers to even raise prices, let alone do an ambitious one to make a difference in the piggy bank. You saw that changing your prices at 20 spots is just overwhelming. And we are not even talking about your prices and updating all the clients. And likely you have different packages for different clients. And one is a little bit more, one is a little bit less, depending on the dog's behavior or body size or hair type or desired haircut. All kinds of variables have influence on this. So it's a lot more than those 20 thingies. I'm pretty sure. Price adjustments. When you do flat rate single tiered method, you are limited to do a price raise 1, maximum 2 times a year, because annoying clients more often than that is just bad for business. They're going to be pissed. And I did price raising 2 times a year, and I did not raise a lot, and they still weren't too happy. It was early on in my career, and I don't really recommend raising 2 times a year in flat rate billing method and raising method, because it will just piss off your clients. And the biggest headache of flat rate single tiered raising method is when you aim too low and your clients don't push back. Congratulations, you're stuck with that also generous discount for your clients for a whole year. Best for 6 months. You can't raise that price in a week or in a month. Your clients will be like, okay, this is way too much. This chick is crazy. And they will be not happy. And you need to wait that much long to raise your prices again if you aim too low. You can't get fast enough feedback from your clients whether you aimed too high or too low or just about right. There is hope. How to preserve your time, energy, and generate more money. If you want to be the person on the right with the heart on their t-shirt, then let's take a look at how it's done like a boss. Raising prices to advance. Moderate raise. To advance with a moderate raise that is significant enough and sustainable, you will need to do fair pricing. You need to separate grooming labor rates from supplies and other fees, supply fee and other fees. You need to upgrade from flat rate to hourly rate billing and pricing. It's critical. And that way you can work less and earn more and be as happy as that adult who has time, energy, and money. Now, how does this look in practice? Super simple. You need to add a supply fee line to your invoices and estimates. I named them supply fee. This one describes a vet cut. I have different supply fees for different services, and they are flat fees because they are fees and not time-based, but flat rates. I have flat prices for them, and I slap them on every single invoice and estimate as a separate item. That way my clients know that the supply fee for a vet cut was $10, and the brush out, let's not get there. Let's finish this one. So the supply fee for that service was $10 when they ask to cover shampoo, conditioner, water, electricity, phone, internet, whatever, supplies. Generally, they don't even ask. It's self-explanatory. They take a look at the invoice. They don't even pick up the phone to ask, hey, buddy, what the heck is that supply fee up there? They know because you explained it. And they see your labor prices separately, and they don't ask that either. They don't pick up the phone, hey, what's in the works? Because it's listed there. Face, feet, fanny, bath and towel drying, hand blow drying, hairstyling, desired hairstyle discussion. Everything is there, clear and fair. And as you can see, the system explains the pricing and it shows the time. And clients don't need your assistance with customer support when they are comparing to estimates or invoices. It's incredible. It sounds a teeny tiny tweak, but it has a huge impact on your admin workload when it comes to customer service, especially when it comes to price raising. And when they compare two invoices, they are like, oh yeah, I get it. And they don't even reach out. It's an awesome way to go. So, tiered pricing method, raising prices in practice, separating existing and new clients for price raising. This is one of the core things you do when you are already doing hourly billing and tiered pricing for your clients. It's very safe. When you have your loyal clients, your favorite clients in tier 1 as the core of the business, and you find that pricing for them, the core pricing, and you translate it into hourly billing, you have your tier 1 prices. And it's fantastic. And then you can be ambitious and you can go crazy, not with $5 and $10 and peanuts like that, but you can raise your prices like insane for new clients when the flow is going, like springtime, holiday season. And it's beautiful. In the past, I was raising my prices teeny tiny, $5, $10, barely made any difference, if at all. After I realized there are tiered pricing, then I was going in these sections, like I'm just jumping in the middle. I went from 40 to 60 to old clients and new clients, to 60 to 80 to old clients and new clients. Then I went from 80 to 100. That was a huge milestone. Then Levi was pushing me to go even further, and I was like, no, I can't deal with that. And then he was like, yeah, you can. I was like, no. And then I was like, okay, $100 per hour for everyone. I went back to single tier again. And I worked on my confidence and understood, read a few books and listened to a few audiobooks like April Dunford's, obviously awesome. And I worked up my courage. And Levi was like, oh, what's going to be the next price? And there was a huge rush in client flow at that time. And I went from $100 per hour for all of my clients, and I introduced a new tier, and that was $200 per hour. And that's my base rate right now. And 90% of my clients are in that tier. And that's how you work your way into higher tiers in a very short period of time, in a very sustainable way, without pissing off your clients in masses. And all while they are super happy. And we're going to talk about that a little bit later. So we have a safe client base, tier 1, just your favorite loyal clients. And for continuous revenue growth, so we are confident and aim higher for tier 2. When you have these base clients, the tier 2 price can be sky high. Like I was not going to $100, $105, $110. Not. No. I don't want, let's put it in a positive way. I want to be an adult with time, energy, and money. I want to raise prices in a short period of time, sustainably, and sky high, and still provide value. I'm not cheating on my clients. I provide high enough value, and I explain it to them in a way that they get the value, so they are like, yeah, it's worth it to me. Here it is. And they even tip me well with that 15-20% with that $200 per hour price. It's insane. It's incredibly good. So let's go back to that, and then we can indulge later about the numbers. We can continuously adjust our aim with tier 2, tier 3, with tiered pricing in general, year around. Huge advantage. And add new tiers when there is no or minimal resistance to our pricing. You remember with flat rate price raising, we were limited to 1-2 raising with the tier 1 pricing, the single tier flat rate billing, once a year. If you screwed up and no one said, ooh, that's way too high, then you had to wait a whole year to adjust that pricing. With hourly billing and tiered pricing combined, no. If you say, okay, you go crazy like I did, $100 per hour, and then you raise your new client prices to $200 an hour, what's the client's response? You send out 10 estimates, you look what was the reply, way too much, I'm coming. Check the rate, many people, 8 people still came, go higher, tier 3, and check the results. You don't have to wait just a few days to collect the data from your client's feedback, from your client prospect's feedback, and you can adjust your pricing insanely. It's super. It's fantastic. So flexible, and it's just incredible. With a client tier supportive software, it's a matter of a few clicks to raise prices by adding a new tier. And you can forget about that insane price raising, time-consuming, error-prone bullshit that we do on paper and with softwares that do not support client tiers. It's critical. If you pick a software that supports client tiers, hourly billing, and itemized invoices, by the way, there's only one on the market right now, Pet Groomer app, then you can make price raising incredibly easy and raise your prices in a tiny short term, sustainably, and sky high. So let's take a look how it's done. Tiered pricing method, existing and new clients. You have your services and packages in the system, and it's time-based, and you add client tiers, and the client tier icon shows up by the client, and the system automatically calculates the price for any of these services on whatever price tier the client is in. And here is how it's done. Here you see I add 120 minutes, the works, and the whole deal is calculated. I'm not trying to do the math. I would never do. I hate math. The system calculates everything. Beautiful, isn't it? And then with a click, you can send the estimate to the client. Right there. Bam. That was the $120 client tier. There. It says it on the title. Now let's take a look how it's done on a $200 per hour client tier 2. Let's see the video. Woohoo! Same old deal. One click. The system calculates the price. And as you can see, it's the same deal, same time, very different price. How amazing is that? Super simple. You can do it while there is a doggy on the table. Like really. I'm not suggesting that. But you could with a well-behaved, balanced doggy who you've been grooming for 3 years. Super simple. So, let's see. Question. I like the idea of tiered pricing. Can one adopt tiered pricing in flat rate billing? Here's the thing. Not without insane amount of admin work eating up your time and sanity. Been there. I used a software that did not support tiered pricing, but supported hourly billing and flat rate billing as well. It was a pure nightmare. If you want to know the company's name, email me. I'm not gonna say their name publicly, but I'm happy to share my experience with others one-on-one, why it did not work out on the long run with them. It's a pain in the tush. If the software you're working with does not support the tiered pricing with hourly rates, so it does not calculate you the price automatically, or you're doing it on paper, then you have to multiply your packages, standalone services, and all the add-ons by tier. So we concluded that we had 20 items in the sample were about all the packages, standalone services, and add-ons. Most of us have a lot more. I just said like I have 43 or something. But let's go with the 20. If you want tiered pricing, you need to create tier 1 packages and tier 2, duplicate everything. When you have dozens of flat rate packages, add-ons, and standalone services like all-inclusive, bath and tidy, extra demanding, nail trimming only, if you want to tier them, you would need to duplicate, rename, and replace all packages, add-ons, and standalone services at every tier you want to create. That's insanity. I know it from experience. I used to do that, and it's insane amount of workload. Huge error margin. Like, you manually have to adjust the price. And that's not something I'm willing to work with. And I used to. It was horrible. When I mixed up the client tier's price for one client to another client, it was just beyond awkward and very upsetting because I had to explain stuff. And tiered pricing is totally legal. It's legit. SaaS companies totally use it for years, decades, I should say. And they are doing it with amazing success. Groomers need to adjust to it, but the softwares did not follow up, did not catch up with the technology and the method. I mean, technology did not catch up with the methods, the most advanced methods, and that's why I love to explore other industries, because the latest technologies are much more advanced in other industries than in the grooming industry. We are lagging, nagging, whatever. And it's very hard for us to evolve from that before we would get 80 or 90. And it's such hard work that we do, physically exhausting, then we really need to think about a strategy that will help us not just stay afloat, but also have enough time, energy, and money to do stuff in our life while we are young adults and we are physically able to. So you can do flat rate billing with tiered pricing, but it's gonna be a pure nightmare, and the extra time that would be generated by the money, that you will spend it with admin work, because it's a shit show if it's done on paper or not flat rate, not tier pricing and hourly rate supportive software. So let's see. Okay, another question. I don't want that kind of workload. Then how can I enjoy the advantages of tiered pricing? You need to adopt hourly billing so the packages are not linked to flat prices, but hourly rates are linked to packages and services. This is how when you do your research, I don't want you to take my word for it that it's the Pet Groomer app only that can support this at this level. I want you to do your research. And here is the formula. You need to ask them whether they link packages, add-ons, standalone services to hourly billing, and whether that hourly billing is linked to tiered pricing. It's not. And then here you can see how price raising is done. For tier 1, from $100 per hour to $110. Moderate raising for your loyal clients, not a big deal. Tier 2, $150 per hour. That you raise that from your new clients who totally agreed to $150 a couple of months ago. Then you raise those prices to tier 2, $180 per hour. You can go very bold, or you can say, okay, I'm leaving tier 2 and I'm just raising tier 2 to $160 again. And then for my very new price tier 3, I'm going to go $180. And the good news is you can pick $132.63. The system will do the math for you. You don't have to go and do the same thing like with flat raised price raising. Like, oh my God, I have to do the math with every single package. I hate math. I want a system that does the thing for me, has the formula, and just does the math for me. So click, 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 I'm done. Good, new prices. Next project, I can go to the jacuzzi. Perfect. And I highly encourage you to do your research. And once you understand these philosophies, then you can make an informed decision. And that's what I want you to do, and what I tell to my clients at the spa and my clients or our clients with the software company, that I want you to make an informed decision and only say yes. Have your questions. I'm happy to answer any questions. And say yes only when you're 100% sure that it's the thing what you need. And yeah, do your research and keep me posted and ask questions. How do we go from flat rate to hourly billing in practice? Let's see. I'm going to slide these a little. Raising prices to advance. Ambitious raise existing and new clients. Find your base hourly grooming labor rate. Tier 1. We are happy to help you with this Pet Groomer app, by the way. You don't have to sweat it out all yourself. Have us do it or import and convert your services, packages, and time-based add-ons or be billed hourly. Start charging fairly and learn on the itemized estimate invoice to help your clients get it, buy it, love it. It's very simple. I'm gonna summon the little sheet I have. I will send you the link to this and you can play around with it. It's an interactive sheet that you can add your own numbers to your own packages and it will automatically calculate the your hourly rate. When we convert from flat rate billing, it has flaws. And when you just do a raw conversion from your flat prices to hourly rate, you're going to see serious inconsistency. Admire it. That's the situation we're going to resolve. You can see this at view 2 right in the blue rectangle, that when you see the time it takes to the duration of the grooming, the package, and the price of the package, it looks very different when you do hourly rate. And on the right to that, you see the average adjusted hourly rate. And you can see how much we undercharge. You can play around this, and that's why groomers get to the conclusion that it doesn't worth to groom big doggies. Here you can see in a bigger difference. Like even when we adjusted our average hourly rate that we just converted from here, average adjusted to here, we still have, and raised $5 more, we still have flaws that we are still not charging enough for these services when we convert from hourly. So you need to play around with these numbers a little bit in the sheet that you're going to get the link to, so you don't have to worry about it now. And then you can find your number and make sure that you raise high enough that everything is sorted. If you check the difference between your flat rates, $85 for an extra large doggy, and with your fair or almost fair or fair pricing, you've been undercharging like insane. You gave the doggy pretty much a 50% discount and your back is not happy about that. And once you adjust everything, it's gonna be super duper fair and smooth. And having an itemized estimated invoice is your tool to explain this number to your clients. Because if you are giving a one-liner from this to this, then they're not going to be happy. But if you are giving an itemized estimate and invoice and you realize that you don't want to give away your energy and time anymore, then you need to charge correctly for that. And then that way you can lean on the itemized estimate and invoice to explain to your clients like, hey, I've been seriously undercharging in the last 3, 5, whatever years. I just raised my price. I'm going to raise my prices with January 1st to this level, whatever your confidence zone is and level is. And then you can use those itemized estimates and invoices to explain that to your clients. And then if they come back and say, yes, sure, I understand, great. If not, great, because your back will thank you. If you are undercharging that significantly, it's not the thing that it doesn't worth to groom big doggies. It's the thing that you're not charging high enough. And you need to ask for the price that you're looking for to get your time, energy, and money. Super important. Keep all three. Here's how it looks. And we can help you with this. If you send us your price list, we have a little look, have a little discussion, and we'll set all of this up for you. But here is how it's done if you did it on your own. You add your current upgrading from flat rates to hourly rate billing. You add your current flat rate packages, services, and add-ons to the system. Boo! Beautiful, colorful, so you know what's going to happen. You add an approximate duration. You don't have to go crazy about this. You can customize this by dog and by appointment. It's just a rough time that it takes to get that done. And time, wrong column, there. That's the time. And you create a client tier. That's tier 1, your sweet spot clients, your loyal ones. So that's going to be your tier 1 hourly grooming labor rate. What you calculated from the little sheet or just went with the 1 hour long price, 55. I'm not recommending it because you're still charging way too low, so you need to adjust it to look a little better. There. And after all of these 3 things are done, then you flip the switch. There you go. It's super, super difficult and complicated. Boom. And then you can go and charge your clients fairly, hourly. Here it is how it goes. 1 click and the system calculates everything for you. Boom. Beautiful. You slap on a supply fee and it looks just perfect, doesn't it? Raising prices to advance. Ambitious raise, existing and new clients. To advance with an ambitious raise that is significant and sustainable, you can do a moderate price raise when the demand is high. I mean ambitious. Adopt client tiers and raise at a different scale. Existing clients tier 1, new clients tier 2. We talked about this in the past, and you can continue adding tiers as the client flow comes in, and you still aim too low. A general little rule what I like to do is when I raise prices is I need to blush. And it's not the only aspect of it, but I need to blush, saying out the number to make it high enough that I know that, okay, I'm getting out of my comfort zone. And I lean on itemize estimates and invoices, and it works out pretty good. Okay, it's not just that in the equation, but yeah, you need to get out of your comfort zone when it's about picking your price and finding a number that works for you and finding a client prospect group that still works, who can support you and have the resources. Success story time. Courtney's success story. From employer to entrepreneur, how I am building a self-sustaining home-based dog spa while raising a toddler. Courtney started out as an employee groomer at the age of 18. She has 13 years of grooming experience as an employee. She's now 31. She made the big decision to start her own home-based business. She is the business owner of a part-time home-based grooming salon called Courtney's Dog Grooming. That's the name she picked. I think it's adorable. She has a supportive income. She works as a part-time grooming salon manager at another grooming salon until her business transitions to full-time. And she chose the Pet Groomer app as the software to kickstart her dog spa on October 20th, 2024. And this is how it's going for her right now. She has 40 plus clients already as of today. We converted her flat rate prices to hourly rates at the setup, and she started out at the $60 per hour rate. That was tier 1 for her, and she added a tier 2 that was $70 per hour for the grooming labor rate. And she started using the Pet Groomer app and tried a few advices of mine, and she gained significant confidence. And in less than a month from sign up, she texted me on November 8th that she's ready for tier 3, $80 per hour. You see, there is a magic to tiered pricing because she did not need to wait for January 1st, though it was very close to her sign up. That was in October. But she added a new tier. And as her confidence grew, then she was able to add a new tier without fuss and hustle. This is the beauty of on-demand price raising with the help of client tiers as your clientele and confidence grows. All her new clients get the default $80 per hour grooming labor rate. Look at that. At the beginning, she had 2 tiers. We added a note from which day, before which day it applied to, and the tier 2 after which day it applied to. And we set it as the default one, and then we added a new tier and we set that as the default one, and she is earning a lot more already with significant increase in a very tiny time, and it's sustainable. How amazing. Here you see the last 2 images in a little bit bigger, so you see the dates and the prices and the little icons, and you can customize the color and everything, and these show up at the clients. When is the demand high? I think we need to talk about this for a second because oftentimes groomers don't realize that it's time to raise prices. When your calendar is filling up 1-2 months in advance, that means you're getting popular. The clients love your services or love your prices. You need to check on that, which one it is, and you need to raise prices. When your calendar is full, fully booked calendar is a sure as hell sign that you are leaving significant money on the table. And when we are wearing a lot of hats, I know we have loyal clients. I know we love all the doggies, clients or most of them. But we still need to think about business decisions, and we still need to think about which adult and old person we want to become, how much battery we want from energy, time, and money. And we need to adjust because time is flying. And if you do the life in weeks sheet, you're gonna be very motivated, to put it that way, because I'm gonna be 37. I was 37 in August. I'm gonna be 38 in next August. And when I did a couple of months ago the life in weeks sheet, I was shocked for like 3 days that, oh my God, my life is almost over. But it was very motivating and insane, insightful that I can deal with this $5, $10 raise, what I used to do and what other people are doing. No, I want to enjoy my life right now and tomorrow, because all of those dots that are there for until I would be 80 or something on the life in weeks list, that's not granted. Even tomorrow is not granted. I could cook right after this or right in the middle of this. And we really need to understand and put it in perspective that our time is super limited. And we really need to be cautious and aware of that and play our cards right to make the most of it and get access and time, energy, and money so you can enjoy it to the fullest. When you have a wait list, typical sign, again, just like calendars full, that you're leaving significant money on the table. When you're doing a wait list, you are doing single tiered price raising. Not good. And it's scary, and you feel stuck, and you are stuck, and you need to get out of that and use client tiers and hourly billing to clean the slate. When your clients leave over 20-25% tips, that's a sure sign that you're not charging enough. And they are kind and caring, but most of the clients won't slap you with $100 beer when you're charging 24 meals or whatever. They will not tell you, Christmas time maybe, but they will not, most of them will not tell you to raise your prices, but there are signs. And once you learn to read those signs, then you can analyze them and come up with a number for your tier 2 clients and even you're raising your tier 1 clients in a safe way without pricing them from their budget. So without you losing your client base, basically. When you feel overworked, typical sign, but we very rarely listen to it, that when we feel overworked, then that's a sure sign that, okay, my time and energy is not balanced and likely not even my money. So I need to raise prices. Here, you can play around finding your number to the client tier 2 in the same sheet. There is the green rectangle here, and you can play around, adjust your prices here in the green cell, and the system will calculate this for you. And you can check your prices and your packages, and then you can give it a try and add it to the system as tier 2 and see what your new clients say to those estimates. I dare you right now that if you change your prices in client tiers and you raise your prices, your tier 2 prices significantly, I'm talking about 25-50% of what you're asking your current clients right now. Most of your new clients, if you're home-based, especially if you're home-based, would say yes if you position your business right and emphasize on one-on-one, home-based, solo grooming, appointment only, especially if you are fear-free and especially if you are grooming doggies loop-free. So there are these variables and values that you can add to the equation. It's a lot of fun. Ambitious raise, jumping client prospect groups. It's going to open up a brand new perspective for you. To advance, moderate, or ambitious raise significantly and sustainably. Ambitious raise, jumping client prospect groups. There are 3 client prospect groups, and the first one is bargain hunters, quantity focused, used to be me, so don't get offended. We've been all there. And I've been stuck there I used to be stuck there for a long time. These clients prioritize cost savings. There's a lot of DIYers, a lot of complaints, rocky paperwork, paper collection, whatnot. They want you to take care of the doggy the whole day and in name of grooming and do daycare and all kinds of things. It's not a wise idea to have these clients as the base group of clients for your business to sustain it. These people need more help than they and more support than they can offer to you. They are amazing to volunteer to do. So I highly recommend you to focus on the second and the third groups to increase your pricing, to learn how to pitch to them, and to jump client prospect groups so you can be able to earn a lot more, a lot faster, so sustainably. Second group is quality group. They are quality seekers, quality focused. This group is willing to pay more for better quality products or services. Think great haircut and products, shampoo, organic conditioner, and they value reliability, attention to detail, and higher performance, but may not be as concerned with extras or added perks. And these are a great group to work with. Their doggies are trained, exercised, well cared for at home generally. And they have a lot more resources to pay for you. So if you dare to ask high enough, they will be happy to pay for a good quality service if you can back up your word to offer that. Group 3 is experience enthusiasts. They are looking for not only quality, but an outstanding experience. Think of Lumbo people. These are premium clients who not only demand high quality results, but also expect an exceptional overall experience. They are willing to pay top dollar for premium features, personalized one-on-one services, and seamless, enjoyable interaction with your salon. Compassion is key here. You have to be very polite and very kind with them and help them see that you understand what they are talking. Lots of paraphrasing about the desired trim, exploring image options, and before you would say, or we would say that, oh my God, ain't nobody got time for that, you are being paid for the time you're talking about the desired haircut, which is awesome. That way, you can just relax and enjoy getting on the same page with the client. I have a lot more info about client prospect groups on my blog on Substack. The blog post you need to look for is Barking Up the Right Tree, client prospect groups. I have like 2-3 tables there with all the value system that each client group follows. And it's a fantastic insight. So I highly recommend them. That one to you. It's either a blog post or a podcast. You can pick which one you want. So here, let's take a look at my yearly numbers. And this is what, I forgot to update the December. This is the year, this was the year so far, last Monday, because that's the screenshot from last Monday. And so 4 days are missing from there. And you can see that my income varies, my home-based income varies from $8,000 in September. That was very low because I had like 10 days off or something like that. And October was very nice, 16.5 grand, and April was 15.5, something like that. May as well. So it has a lot of time, energy, and money as a resource when you learn to set your price right. Tiered pricing is critical to do it with confidence and with joy and excitement. So price raising preferences. I think the conclusion of all of this, the whole deal is, I think we can agree that we want fair pricing. That calls for hourly billing. All minutes are accounted for and charged for. Hourly billing again. Supply fee to cover your costs and to get the best tools and supplies on the market. Itemized invoices. To the rescue. Minimizing revenue risk and bad reviews risk at price raising times. Client tiers to the rescue. Maximizing your income, aiming high enough, fast enough, so you can live and have time and energy and money. That's again client tiers. Simple and clear billing. Hourly billing, itemized invoices to the rescue to lean on when you are sharing your prices with your clients, or when you are providing tool for your client prospect to share your prices and value you provide with the financial decision maker of the family. Confidence, standing behind your prices, provide clarity to your clients. Again, tiered pricing, itemized invoices, and hourly billing to the rescue. Minimal admin workload to change prices. As we talked about this, hourly billing, it can be done with flat rate raise and single tiered, and you need to do multi-tier price raising. And if you want to save your time and not just the energy and the money. So, graduating from I need to groom more dogs to earn more to making a decision shift to how do I pitch to group 2-3 people. It's an amazing journey, and I will likely do another webinar about that because it's a huge topic, how to pitch to those people. So summarizing it, the holy trinity of price raising strategies are hourly billing, client tiers, and itemized estimates invoices. From this perspective, I think we all agree that if you want to raise your prices safely, confidently, and moderately, or even ambitiously, these are the most important methods and features to do so. To minimize admin-related customer support and adopt this system, we now see that we need a scheduling software that supports all three. And as I hinted before, the only software that can do this for you, all three, in this detail I just mentioned to you, is the Pet Groomer app. Do your research. I don't want you to take my word for it. Do your research. And if you have any questions, hit me up. You will know my email address. I will send you my phone number and everything. So I will be available if you have any questions. And let's see. Quick questions. How often can you raise your prices in a year? As we talked about it, flat rate billing, price raising perspective, once or twice maximum per year. With hourly billing, you can continuously raise your prices by client tiers as the market allows and based on the client feedback. How do I raise my prices without pissing off my new clients in masses? In flat rate billing, you can do it once a year with minimal moderate raise to stay under their budget threshold. I hear you're backbaiting this in the background, really? Hourly billing price raising, client tiers can help you tap into the market and see how they respond and adjust your pricing accordingly so you can get a prices in a short period of time with sky high and sustainable results. How to raise prices by quite a lot, like £10 or $10, so that you are finally charging a reasonable amount. Flat rate billing, raising, itemized invoice can get you there to help your clients understand that much when you're doing flat rate billing and raising, but I don't really recommend that because that's not the cleanest way to go about it, and there's gonna be still pounds and dollars sneaking through the cracks in the flat rate billing and price raising. So when it comes to add-ons and supportive, what is it? Standalone services, that's the word. So hourly billing is the way to go, and adopting client tiers so you can raise $10 for tier 2, say, if you just dare to raise $5 for your loyal client base and you want to go wilder and you want to go $10 or £10 for your new clients, then you can go and add that tier 2 and charge £10, $10 more per hour for that tier in hourly billing. Some more questions. Should I raise prices every year? Every year, absolutely. Yes. It's including grooming labor and supply fees, and you can adjust the raise of the two in different scale as you wish. If you are about to get a house and you need to show proof of income, then you're gonna spike that hourly grooming labor rate. If you want to upgrade from maybe cheap shampoo, conditioner, whatever you're doing because tight budget, you add a supply fee to your clients, you get the fanciest organic whatever shampoo, conditioner, and you're covered. It's fantastic. My skin is so very happy about the top of the line shampoos, and I'm not paying for it. I buy it, but I'm not paying for it. You shouldn't either. As a new business owner that has been accepting clients since late September 2024, is it reasonable to raise my prices in January, or should I wait until I have a more well-established clientele? Totally reasonable to raise prices, presenting them in an itemized estimate invoice way or form will help your clients get it, pay it, and love it, especially when you adopt tiered pricing so you raise in different scale for old and new clients. How much should I raise? Supply fee, at least inflation plus upgrades that you would like to get. 2 supplies, if you want an electric shaver, pew, supply fee up. Organic shampoo conditioner, pew, supply fee up. Depends on the client flow. When we are talking about the grooming labor, whether you are taking new clients, how much tip you get, and other variables. Flat rate billing, raising, can't raise too high without outbidding your client's budget. Hourly billing raising depends on how the market responds to the price you put out there with tier 2. So you get feedback, you adjust it, super easy. How do I aim high enough? Read the Get Rich Lucky Bitch book. There, I will send you the link. The author has the blush method. I mentioned it before. If you aim high enough when you aimed high enough when you blush, when you say your price out loud. Of course, there are other methods and strategies to calculate a good aim and the percentage of tips, like the percentage of tips, client retention, new client flow, and so on. But that's a very good way and fun way to play around with the numbers. When do I know if I aim too low? Your bank will tell you for once, or your family friends, because you are not spending enough time with them. You wouldn't really know it from your clients, like they're not going to tell you like, hey, you should really raise your prices, or very few. And but there are signs, like you still get crazy amount of tips, like over 20-25%, and other things that worth their own webinar, really. How and when do I know if I'm aimed too high? Never heard of such thing, really. Most of the groomers are charging so low that even when they feel like, ooh, this is insane scary, and they adopt client tiers and raising tiered pricing, they still like, oh shit, I got no no's as a response for the estimates, and clients are not pushing back enough. So yeah, it's very hard to aim that high that your clients are like, ooh, no, thank you. How do I adjust my pricing if I aim too low without waiting 6 months or a year? Adopt hourly billing. As we talked about this, that's going to help you tremendously. Last slide of the night. How do I present my prices so my clients get it, agree to it, and love it? Itemize invoice for clarity and to look professional. When it comes to being home-based, oftentimes it's still not a very popular setup for groomers. So oftentimes we need to make a very good first impression to not be anticipated as one of the backyard chop shops for doggies. And we really need to make sure that the clients get an experience where they feel like, all right, this is not only similar, but much better than a brick and mortar store. And actually it is. Pitching the value to the right crowd, group 2-3 people. That's another workshop in itself, how to pitch to them, but you can read or listen to the Marking Up the Right Tree podcast and blog post, and then you're going to get lots of information there. Am I destined to follow the inflation, do minimal price raising like $5 extra a year? No, but your billing method likely needs a facelift to get out of this rut effectively, fast enough, and sustainably. So hourly billing and tiered pricing to the rescue. Suggestions on transitioning my brick and mortar into my house. Glad you asked. That's one of my favorite topics. Makes me all nostalgic. When I started out, it's a bit outside of the subject of this webinar, but I will send you a checklist and blog post on the topic, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to do one on that, just on that topic fairly soon. How do I raise without raising my overhead? Staying home-based solo is the only and the best way I know how to do that. And jumping client prospect groups. That's the other joker that we can do. As opposed to making on grooming more dogs than your body can support. Peter, hold on. My puppies are going absolutely wild. So we answered all and every questions that I got in the sign up. And thank you so much for your attention here. Now I'm going to go back, switch to full screen. I'm saying it out loud for myself, so I'm not going to forget it. And I'm going to run and see whether there are any questions. Hold on. Okay, I don't see any questions. So I want to thank you for your time. If you have any questions watching the recording, feel free to hit me up. I'm happy to respond. And yeah, I hope to see you in the next one. I'm planning to do these things very frequently, so keep an eye out for upcoming lives. I'm going to do this likely on YouTube because it was a little bit rocky start, but this was the best experience and it has the highest resolution and best sound. So I'm likely sticking with this platform. And yeah, that's all. I appreciate you. Belly wraps to your doggies, ear wraps to your kitties. Big hugs to you if you like them. And see you in the next one. Take care. Bye.